Chapter 4, The Signal. They left just after sunrise. The sky was darker than the day before, clouds thick with ash, the wind sharp and unnatural. Sam led the way, rifle slung over one shoulder, his boots crunching over scattered glass and debris. Jacob followed, pack over his back, still sore from his run-in at the pharmacy 2 days before. Leah, her ankle now tightly wrapped and bound with a makeshift splint, stayed behind in the garage, her expression unreadable as they disappeared into the ruins. "You're sure about this place?" Jacob asked, keeping pace as best he could. Sam nodded once. "Wasn't on any map, but I worked with a guy who moonlighted for DHS. Said there was a federal relay node, underground, just north of the financial district." "A bunker?" "Not exactly. More like a listening post, communications and data. Supposed to be obsolete. But government facilities don't go offline. They go dark." Jacob didn't respond. He was already breathing hard from the toxic air and the adrenaline. Every corner they turned looked like a scene from a war documentary. Buildings hollowed out, lampposts bent in half, fires still smoldering in alleyways. Somewhere far off, a dog howled. Then silence. They reached the building just before noon. It didn't look like much, just a squat gray government facility built into the base of a larger office tower. The signage had been blackened by fire, the outer walls buckled from pressure. One of the metal blast doors hung crooked on its hinges. A small concrete courtyard was littered with body armor, crushed phones, and shattered visors. Jacob hesitated at the threshold. "Looks like they tried to hold it." Sam scanned the area, eyes sharp. Or something tried to get in. He gestured for Jacob to follow and stepped through the broken door. Inside, the air was cooler, filtered. Lights flickered along the corridor ceiling, powered somehow by an emergency generator still humming faintly behind the walls. There were no bodies inside, just the impression of violence. Bullet holes, blood smears, drag marks. "Jesus," Jacob whispered. Sam didn't reply. They passed a security checkpoint, a break room frozen mid-lunch, and a long hallway lined with unmarked doors. Each one was locked tight or barricaded from the inside. At the far end, a sign read, "Frequency Relay, Sublevel 3. An elevator shaft nearby was jammed with debris, but a narrow stairwell offered passage downward. Sam tested the railing, then nodded. "Let's move." 3 levels below ground, the world changed. The air was cold. Sterile. The lights here were brighter, unbroken. The walls were a smooth, polished gray, interrupted only by fiber optic panels and biometric scanners. Most systems were dead, but one stood blinking. A control terminal half built into the wall, its monitor glowing softly. Jacob stepped toward it, cautious. "Should this still be on?" Sam tilted his head. "Doubt it. Unless it's running independent backup, or someone turned it on." Jacob tapped a key. The screen flared to life. "Relay node. Encryption protocol. Ashfall incoming signal detected. Decrypting." Jacob's blood went cold. "Did you say Ashfall?" Sam looked as surprised as Jacob felt. That wasn't public. That was codename level stuff. Top contingency protocol in the event of this. "You knew about it?" "I'd heard the name. Rumors, never details." The screen flickered, lines of code racing down the monitor. Then, message decrypted, displaying audio transcript. Source, EagleNet. Jacob pressed a key. A distorted voice crackled through the speaker. "Mail, urgent, professional. This is Command Echo 7. To any surviving nodes, Ashfall protocol is in effect. POTUS en route to Site Gemini. Multiple first strikes confirmed. LA, Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Houston, Seattle. Satellite surveillance compromised. Eastern Seaboard Command offline. Chinese assets confirmed. EMP wave successful. I repeat, EMP wave successful. Civilian data infrastructure neutralized. Final directive. If this is received, prepare for domestic continuity breach. Full denial scenario. This is not a drill." End of transmission. Jacob backed away from the console like it had burned him. "What the hell is a domestic continuity breach?" he asked. Sam's jaw clenched. "It means they think someone on our side might be planning to seize control, or already has." "Wait, you're saying the government planned for this? That this was expected?" Sam didn't answer. He stepped forward and pulled a hard drive from a port beneath the monitor. The lights dimmed. The screen went black. "You heard the timestamp," Sam said. "That message was sent yesterday, after the strikes. Someone's still out there, and they think we're not just at war with China." Jacob whispered. "We're at war with ourselves." As they made their way back through the bunker, Jacob couldn't shake the voice from the relay. POTUS en route to Site Gemini. Where was that? Underground? Off the grid? It meant the president had survived, or at least someone claiming to be the president. But who else had made it? And if there were secret sites, what happened to everyone else? Do we tell Leah? Jacob asked. Sam nodded slowly. Yeah, but not all of it. Why not? Because if she thinks there's no one coming to save us, she might stop trying to live. They emerged into the light just before dusk. The air had changed again. Wind carried more smoke now, and the horizon had turned orange with flame. In the distance, Jacob could make out black specks in the sky. Drones, maybe? Or something worse. They stopped in an alley to rest. Sam watched the skyline with narrowed eyes. You believe in fate, Jacob? Jacob shook his head. No, never really had time for it. Sam nodded, as if that made perfect sense. Maybe you should start. Jacob leaned back against the brick wall, clutching the hard drive in his pack like it was gold. You think that message, the protocol, it's connected to why this all happened? I think we were fed a story, Sam said. A simple one. Trade war, retaliation, nukes. But this, he looked at the sky. This feels engineered. A pause. Then, what if we're not just survivors? What if we're witnesses? Jacob didn't answer, because somewhere, deep inside, he already knew Sam was right.